first one. Because after you take that hand out and you let it dry a little bit, it starts to seal. And then when you go back in, if you touch the bottom, it might open up that seal. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we're going to try and do this so that you can videotape it. Normally I'd have the person stand in front here so I could guide their hand in, but so that you guys can videotape it, we'll try and do it at an angle, okay?
Okay.
All right. And you want to explain to them how it's going to feel. There's going to be some heat. If you can't tolerate it, let me know, okay? We're just going to slide our hand in for a second and then bring it back out and hold it above the bucket so that you don't get drippings all over the floor and the counter, okay? And then, okay, so we'll try it here.
Okay.
All right. And then before, I'm sorry, I forgot one point. You want to make sure you tell them to keep their hands slightly spread apart so that you don't have them glued together like this when they get the paraffin out of the bath, okay? So a little bit of an opening between the fingers, okay? You ready? All right, so we're just gonna go swoop in there. You want to try and get as deep as you can, as far up the wrist as you can without touching the bottom, and then come back out and just hold your hand up for a second. Let it sort of seal and coagulate a little bit, right? We're only going to do 2 layers today for example purposes, all right? And you can see his hands are turning sort of like that waxy color. Corpse looking thing, yeah. Good. All right. And then we're going to hold it here till it stops dripping. Great. Are you feeling okay? No irritation? You can tolerate the heat?
Good.
Good. Okay. So now let's say we have 6 or 7 layers on there, right? We're going to get a piece. Now some clinics will have the plastic gloves and some people will just have the plain old-fashioned Glad wrap. You want to try and get a nice even covering so that you're sealing the hand. So you get that nice perspiration that we were talking about. And seal in all the heat. Good. Okay, and once that's done, you want to take a towel. You want to try and enclose the top of the hand and sort of wrap it around so you've got no openings, okay? And you can use rubber bands. We've got some handy dandy from the mail, I think, rubber bands. Or if you've got a Velcro strap, like the ones we were talking about before, you can just wrap it around and Velcro, okay? Good. Okay. Then what you want to do is get them in a comfortable position, seated or lying down, whatever they want to do, with the arm elevated for 20 minutes. Set a timer for 5. Come back and just kind of take a look at it, make sure there's nothing weird going on, right? And then reset it for 15. After 15 minutes, you're going to come back. You're going to undo the rubber bands.
So when you check on them, you don't take the towel off. You just check on the individual.
Well,
not on the...
you want to lift it up a little bit, so yeah, you can take the towel off and just make sure that they're not getting any adverse reaction to the wax.
You do want to look at the hand then. Okay.
And in your lab practicals, if you go ahead and say, 5 minutes is up, I checked the integrity of the skin, and then you don't have to actually do it, so we can save time, okay? All right. So then you just gently take off the wrap. And again, you don't want to reuse the wax. You don't want to be blobbing up in a ball and putting it back in there because it's not sanitary. And once it has a little bit of time to dry, you can see how it has almost a glove look to it. So I have found that if you start at the end and sort of roll it up, you should be able to just lift it and pull it all off in one big piece instead of trying to get it off in little pieces. Okay? And you can see there's perspiration already, a little bit of moistness there. Don't you feel lovely?
Could be a hand model.
Okay. And you can feel a difference in the texture. It's very soft and supple. Not that it wasn't already, but.
Feeling good.
Yeah, and then you want to do another skin check. Make sure there's nothing strange going on, that everything looks intact. Make sure they feel okay. All right. If you're going to try and do any range of motion, go ahead and do that right after you've done the treatment, especially if they have stiff joints that you're trying to mobilize. And then this in the trash, unless there's some way to sanitize it, which usually there isn't. Okay. Did I forget anything, Rosarita?
It was perfect. It was perfect.
So how much time between each dip did you mention?
Just lift it until it stops dripping,
Mm-hmm.
because then the glove starts forming, gets a little bit dry, and then once the dripping stops, you can go ahead and do the next layer.
Great.
Okay.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.